Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hey, today we're going to do a video. Like most of my videos, it's just geared really towards the new ham. Just trying to get started and find his way in this crazy world of ham radio. This crazy hobby we do. And one of the biggest things I got to figure out, now this is considering you're stepped up to your general, or well, I mean even your tech, you can do some HF stuff, but this is for the HF radio. And where to start? What radio do I need to start with for HF radio? Now, of course, that's going to depend on your budget. But we're going to look at a few, and I'm just going to give you my thoughts on them. And maybe it'll help you, maybe it won't. But we'll just run through it. Now, as you can see, I am on DX Engineering. These guys are my favorite. It's where I get all my stuff from. HRO's good too, Gigaparts, you know. And of course, you can do the FleaBay or the Amazon. I'll caution you with that, though. If you have warranty issues or need technical advice, it's going to be pretty tough to reach somebody on eBay or Amazon. So if you pay a few dollars more and you get it from DX Engineering, you can call these guys. And I've called them many, many times, and they are great. They really are. Very smart, can answer any of your technical questions and help walk you through. So keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and click on over here. Scroll down. We're going to look at HF rigs today. So we are looking for, what is it at? I've got to keep going. Transceivers and receivers. There we go. We're going to look at base radios, not mobile. And this is, for your first HF rig at home. All right. So, now a lot of this is just going to be in my opinion. But for your first HF rig, entry level, we're talking around the $1,000 price point, $1,000 to $1,500-$1,600 for a good Japanese HF rig. In my opinion, best bang for the buck by far is actually the rig I am still running. This radio came out, I don't know, a half dozen years ago, and really turned the ham radio world upside down, to be honest. Kind of made everybody play catch up, and I still love this radio. Been running it 5 or 6 years, and I have no intentions of upgrading anytime soon. So we'll just start with that one. Still kind of the best bang for your buck to get going. It's not the newest, so they got it down here somewhere. There we go. The ICOM 7300. This radio right now is $1,099. They got it on sale. Also have an instant rebate of $100. So after the rebate, this is going to cost you $999.95. So right at $1,000. You're going to get free shipping with that. This radio does everything from 6 meters to 160. Okay. And we'll open it up and look at the stuff here. Let's get you some better pictures. I don't have time to go in depth on everything this radio will do. In fact, a radio does more stuff than I even know how to do. So you're not going to outgrow this rig. It has a nice waterfall display. There you go. We'll blow it up a little bit. Everything, it's a menu-driven radio, but a very simple menu. If you can run a smartphone, you can easily navigate this radio. And there's about 1 million YouTube videos out there, so does come with an owner's manual. I never really referenced that, to be honest. I found the YouTube videos to be much quicker. Whatever you're trying to do, set up your waterfall, set your band edges, all the stuff you got to figure out when you first get it. YouTube is your friend, all right? It's got all the technical data down here. You'll need about a 25 amp power supply at minimum. It'll pull 21 amps. That's on FM only if you're running 100 watts FM. Sideband, you might kick up to 18 or 20 on some of your voice peaks, but I run this radio on an Astron 35, just a tried and true power supply. Never had any issue. Even when I didn't have an amplifier and I was running this at full power all the time. And I ran it at full power all the time for many years, and this thing never even hiccuped. So Now I run my amplifier most of the time, so I'm not drawing a lot of amps. All right, so all your technical stuff, I'm not going to go over all that. Great rig to start with. You're not going to go wrong in buying this radio. Let's look at some of its counterparts. And now we're talking the big three here. The high-quality Japanese-based HF rigs. I know some of them make some of their stuff other places now, just like everybody. But your Icoms, your Yaesus, and your Kenwoods, okay? Well, let's go ahead. And that's a portable rig. Let's go back up here. That's not its competition. So in the Kenwood, the only thing in the close to that price range is going to be this TS590SG. Good radio. My Elmer runs this radio. I don't care for the audio on it. It's pretty narrow. I'm not saying that you couldn't get an EQ and make it better, but you have no waterfall. I'm not sure if this has a built-in pan adapter. The 7300, by the way, we just looked at, does not. So if you want that waterfall on a big TV screen, your entry-level radios, most of them, and I don't know if this, I'd have to research it, don't come with that. The 7300 does not. You have to buy another board and install it. It's about $300-ish. Plus, you're going to need an SDR play and all that stuff. I haven't even done that. Now, some of your higher-end radios, as you step up, they have the pan adapters in there. So that's part of the reason your price goes up. More stuff in there, more options, better filters, so on and so forth. So the Kenwood's got all the stuff on the face. Pretty easy radio to operate. If you're just a dial spinner and you don't care for the waterfall, and you just like Kenwood, so you won't go wrong here, although that's pretty expensive. It's another $600 over that 7300. And in my opinion, I think the 7300 is a much better radio than this one. Nothing wrong with this one, but I think, again, you get way more bang for your buck out of that 7300. All right? Now let's go up and look at some of the Yaesus in the $1,000 price range. So we got the FT710. They got a bunch of these different model ones. So I'm not sure who's who in the zoo. I've never had a Yaesu radio. They're great radios. And in fact, if I ever switch radios, I'll show you here in a minute the one I may switch to. Although I have a few more things to consider, and I'll briefly mention that. So this FT710, great radio, 4.3-inch screen. That's the same size screen my ICOM has. This one comes with a speaker. That's not important to me. I wear a headset. So this is going to be your 100-watt radio. Yep, 6 meters to 160. Yep, same. I've heard a lot of these on the air. They're great radios. It looks like this one, Lisa, is that what it's advertising there? Does it have the ability for a pan adapter already in it? Or is that a flip-up screen behind it? I don't know. Optional third-party monitor. So I don't know what that is. Maybe this radio has the pan adapter where you can plug in a monitor, okay? Unless that flips up. I don't know. The upper-end Yaesus, along with the upper-end ICOMs, have a pan adapter built in. And I don't even think you need an SDR on them. So looks like that's part of the radio. Interesting. Said, guys, I don't know everything about every radio. In fact, I don't know a lot about any of them, but I sure have talked to probably everyone out there, every radio out there. So let's kind of just scroll up now. I think that's all the Yaesus in that price range. There's another 710. I don't know. That's a field model. A little cheaper. Looks like it doesn't come with a speaker. Now these ELADs, these are like computer-driven radios, the best I know. I don't know anything about them. If that looks interesting to you, check them out. I cannot talk about those because I just do not know. All right, so I think we're getting into the upper-end radios. Now this radio here, the ICOM 718, I would highly recommend you not get that. I have never heard one that sounds right. They all sound off frequency and very, very tinny. Maybe there's some out there that are not, but again, at $859, literally for $150 more, you can get a 7300, which is 10 times what this radio is. This radio, I think, will be out of production soon. I mean, if that $150 is a make or break deal for you, well, then this is what you got to get. But I would really recommend to stay away from that. Never heard a good one, and everybody I know that have tried one switched really quick to the 7300 and wish they never even went this route. All right, so now we're getting in to some upper end stuff. So this are having the base radio. This is more of a mobile rig. Why you would pay $999 for this radio when you could get a 7300 is definitely beyond me. So does it do something? I don't know. Oh, it's because it's got 2 meters. Okay, so this is kind of an all-in-one radio. Yaesu has one of those too. So if you want a one and done, you can get this. It's got your 2 meter, 440 or 70 centimeter. Looks like it has D-Star plus 6 meters, all mode 6 meter, probably to 160. So I would rather have a separate 2 meter radio, but that's me. And let's go ahead and try to find that Yaesu. This 991 is also a good radio. Heard lots of them out there. That is the counterpart. Okay, so that is equal to this one. So this is the all mode. HF, VHF, UHF, all in one. Has a little smaller screen, 3.5. I'm not a big fan of, trying to cram it all in one box. There's too many compromises that got to be made when you do that, in my opinion. All right, now here, we'll just go in the next step up. No, this is many steps up. When you get into this, the 7760 and the 890 or 990, what you're really getting is a 200-watt radio, which makes no sense to me. They have 100-watt versions of these for half this. So you're paying about $3,000 for 100 watts, which is ridiculous because you can get a 500-watt to 1,000-watt amplifier for less than $3,000. So unless your desk space is very limited, I do not see the purpose in these kind of a new deal 200-watt radios that are coming out. I wouldn't recommend that, guys. So the next step up in price we're getting up here now are going to be, that's a 200-watt rig there. That's not near as expensive. That's $5,000, but still be better off with an amplifier. All mode one desk. Yeah, I don't know. So, okay. Let's go to the next step up, which would be, there we go. That's a FDX10. That's another radio that's a good radio. A little bit more money than the other ones. 100-watt hybrid. Yeah. Get text messages here, of course. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so the next step up in price, we're getting up about $3,500, $3,600 range. It's going to be the 101 and the ICOM 7610 and the Kenwood 890. So we'll just start with the Yaesu. Now, if I was to switch radios, this would probably be the one I switch to. I have a lot of friends with these Yaesu radios. They sound outstanding. I don't think they sound any better than my 7300 because I have some processing going on, which you can hear that. I'm actually running the audio for this video through the ICOM. Of course, we're transmitting into a dummy load and all that, so we're not bothering anybody. But this is a great radio, but the biggest advantage over this radio in the ICOMs is their receiver. The Yaesu receiver definitely blows the ICOMs out of the water. Much, much better filtering. This has everything else, waterfall. Now you're getting into dual VFOs where you can run dual bands. They got the 20-meter band up here and the 80-meter band. That is not important to me because I run one feed line in to the shack, and that goes out to an 8 antenna switch box. So the the dual VFOs, I couldn't do that on one feed line. I'd have to run another coax. Now, I could run my 160 loop in here just for listening, because sometimes you can hear better on a big loop. So, I mean, I might be able to utilize that, but then again, I wouldn't be able to run it 2 cords into the amplifier. I'd really have to do some research on how I would do that. So, you start running into some issues there. And another thing with me switching radios, this is just a personal note. I have so many cords, ICOM cords, to run into the computer here, to the amplifier, antenna tuner, all this stuff. I'd have to buy all new Yaesu cords, and you're talking $300+ to switch them all over. That would not be a cheap endeavor, but this is a great radio. For that reason, I might go to just a 7610. But again, I'm not looking to switch, guys, so I will probably be running this 7300 for some years to come yet. Now this radio, it's very expensive, another 200 watt removable face. I don't know the difference between this one and the one we looked at up there. All right, now we're getting in, we'll do these last. These are the big buck radios. If you got a unlimited, if money is no thing to you, then we'll talk about those last. Like I think I already mentioned it. I just don't know a lot about these radios. They're computer-driven type stuff. It's kind of the new age of radio. Check those out, man. There's a radio I want next. It's not this is a 2-meter 440. Already done that one. Okay, so here's the counterpart to that 101 we just looked at in the ICOM version. $3,200. Basically the same stuff, just in the ICOM version. Dual VFO, a little bit bigger displays, pan adapter built in, stuff like that. The Kenwood counterpart in the next step up would be the 890. There we go. It's in the $4,000 range. I'm just not a big Kenwood audio guy. I've heard very few of them that sound good. If audio is not a thing to you, then it really doesn't matter. But I'm sure you can make these sound good. I'm sure you can get an equalizer for them. So here's your next step up in a Kenwood. Also dual VFO, I believe. I don't know, they're showing. Yeah, there we go. 2 antennas, so it will be a dual VFO. They have the 40-meter band up in the pictures for whatever reason. Come on, get off of there. There we go. So, yeah, there you go. In the $4,000 price range. All right. Now, if price is no non-issue and you can buy whatever you want, well, we'll look at the big boys. At least the ones they have on here. There are some $20,000 rigs out there. They don't even list them or stock them at TX Engineering, probably because they sell so few. Now it's going to be a special order thing, but if you're that rich, buy me one, would you? And here we go. And they're just supposedly going to be the same thing we looked at, honestly. They're just going to be 200-watt radios. And again, I don't understand the logic behind spending so much extra for another 100 watts when you could just get an amplifier. So here's the Kenwood. This is the one the DX Commander runs. If you watch his videos, it's almost $9,000. The Kenwood TS990. No difference, exact same radio as the other one, far as I know, just a 200-watt version. So the 890 and the 990 are the same. This one is just 200 watts. And that is going to be the same with the Yaesu. It is the 101, and they just call it MP. MP stands for more power, right? From the 101D. There it is. Same radio as the 10. It's the same. Instead of the 101D, this is the 101 MP. More power, 200 watts. No real difference, other than the higher wattage, which I would just recommend getting the 100-watt version and buying an amplifier. Okay, guys, I hope this helps somebody. Just a quick little tutorial, kind of help navigate you guys getting started, so it doesn't seem so overwhelming. All right. All right, guys. Well, we'll get you on the next video. You guys have a great day, and welcome to the hobby. Half of the fun is shopping for stuff. All right, guys. Take care. God bless you.